off. So what's up, folks? It is Dan Rojas here with another Takeover podcast episode. We've got episode number 6 here, bringing you straight fire. This is real estate, entrepreneur, business, mindset, growth, you name it. We talk about it. And today I've got an amazing friend with me, Nick Krem. And this man is a social media king, guru, master, you name it. The creator of content cards, the master of being a community champ and teaching you guys how to do that. And I'm so blessed, and we are also blessed here to have him today with us. And so welcome my good friend, Nick Krem.
What's going on? What's going on, Dan? It was good to see you last week in Orlando. I'm telling you what, I'm definitely missing the weather down there. I remember distinctly sitting out there in the shorts on the patio. I'm like, man, I could get used to this.
It has gotten a lot hotter since you left. I'm not a fan of this weather whatsoever. I was happier with like the 30, 40s, even the 50 degrees. Today it's like in the 80s, so I'm not a happy camper about it. But
I know it was like 45 degrees, and I was down there in shorts. I'm like, damn it, I'm going to wear shorts every single day I'm down here. I don't care how hot or cold it is.
So it's funny because sometimes on this podcast, actually people don't know, because obviously it's from the shirt up, so they don't really know what I'm wearing down below. And on the hotter days, I do switch out for shorts during the show just to be comfortable.
Right.
So what's up, man? Obviously you were here last week. You gave an amazing class with the Sotos, right? So our good friends, Rebecca and Josue, Josh Soto, from the Soto Legacy Group,
awesome.
They are fantastic people, and they blessed us by having you in town, and you gave the people a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about today. So give us some background, where did you start? Where did the idea come from? And tell us a little bit more about content cards and what that's all about.
Woo, that's a loaded question. All right. I mean, I pretty much, I got started by calling every single day, right? I was a caller calling like 12 hours, sometimes like 15 hours a day on the phone, calling leads all across the country, right? Because we were at a call center all across the country and in Canada sometimes too. So I was calling all the time. And then all of a sudden, that's when we, long story short, I started working my way into manager, coaching, and the different positions. The one thing that we really realized is some of our clients were crushing it and some of them weren't. It wasn't the leads. It wasn't the numbers. It wasn't the amount of dials, not the amount of hours you're calling. What it came down to is the people had a great personal brand. We crushed it for them. We could call for 2 hours a day and get them a couple listings just off of circle prospecting. Just because they're that well known. So then from there, we started working with some pretty well-known agents. So we started working with some high-end agents, right? We started working with their content, building their personal brand. One of their biggest issues that they had was they had so many links, they had so many videos, so many call to actions that there would be times when we go through emails trying to find things or trying to go through a Google Drive or Wistia, and we would spend hours or sometimes days trying to find something. Heck, I think the one time we couldn't even find it, so we had to reshoot the entire video. So what we decided to do for them was house all of their content in one place, and that's how we came up with content cards. And what we do is we house all of your information in one singular place. We brand it all to you, and we make it your digital business card. So now you have your testimonials, your links, your blogs, your home evaluation search. Everything that you need is one spot.
So, it's funny you mentioned that because, I'm a social media and tech nut as well.
Right.
And so I've always had that dilemma where people are like, oh, where can I find your around the town videos that you direct? And where can I find the Did You Know series? And I'm like, let me find the link and dig through all my stuff and send it to you. So it's like, it's perfect because for posting wise, social media wise, I have all my stuff connected, right? But to find everything is like a nightmare. So tell us a little bit more about like how easy it is to do it, how easy it is to set up, and tell us more about that stuff.
So and that's the same problem that most people have too, right? It's like even if you meet somebody in a bar, if you meet somebody out, like what do? You hand them your card and you hope that they call you, right? What's up, Rebecca? But you just hope that they call you, and then even more so, speed the lead is in a lot more ways than one. Right? Like when somebody asks you for a video or they ask you for information and you take a day to get back to them because you can't find the link, or you're trying to find it, then you get caught up doing something else and you forget to come back to it. That's speed the lead. All of a sudden, when you ask me for something, nickkrem.com. Oh, you want to learn more about my testimonials? nickkrem.com. You want to find me on Instagram? Go to nickkrem.com. Click on the link. So everything is in that one spot. And ease ability to set it up. All we ask you guys to do is fill out a form. We take care of the rest. And then you even hop on the phone or you hop on a Zoom call like this. We share a screen. We have an actual human. I always have to say that because like, oh yeah, you have an admin. I'm like, no, it's a human. He hops on with you and you guys customize it together. So we hold your hand throughout the entire process because we know that we're not going to ask you to learn a whole back end system. Realtors aren't as big tech guys like you are. Or like
right? I love it.
so we just make it as simple as possible. All you do is fill out a form. Our guys take care of the rest for you.
That's sick. So I love the simplicity of it because you're right. I go to explain things sometimes to some other agents, and they're like, and I mentally in my mind, I will skip certain steps because to me it's routine,
It's a no-brainer.
and to me it's a no brainer. You're right, and even my wife has said it. She's like, "Hey, how did you even get to that point? You jumped from that conversation to this one." And just when I'm talking to her, and I'm like, "Oh, I can see where my train of thought went, but I skipped A, B, C, and I somehow ended up at G, all the way down the road." No, the simplicity of it is great. So they just fill out a form, and you guys take care of the rest.
Yeah, 100%.
Man, so that is epic for me because I want to tell you that this year is the year of video content, right? You and I said it both that if you're not doing video content, you're gonna
start getting left behind. I know we've been saying it for years, and we're starting to hit that plateau, right? Where it's like there's still not a lot of people doing it. We still get credit just for doing it. Like it won't be that way forever.
No,
right? It really won't. Like the people who started on YouTube, they're making millions now just because they started early.
Yeah,
we're in that same era right now. You get brownie points just for starting. And if you don't do it now, you're going to start getting left behind.
And so I actually want to harp on that because I've been seeing Facebook slightly drop these ads recently. And I know you've seen them too. And Facebook is really pushing their Facebook Watch lately. And they're putting out ads for it. And right now there's no monetization. Well, actually, people think there's no monetization, but there is.
Yeah.
So I discovered a link the other day for monetization for Facebook Watch. Yeah, I know. So what they're doing is they're going to directly compete with YouTube. Obviously, they don't allow the little video previews or anything like that from YouTube links because they're moving into a new era. I think you're right. I think we're catching it at the right time. And I was just telling everybody at the council meeting last week, I said, hey, do me a favor, stop taking photos from everything. And they're like, well, what if we just want to post a photo? I'm like, take a still frame from the video that you're supposed to take and then go ahead and post that somewhere else if you need to, should you need to. So let's dive more into the community champ, man. I love that hat. Every time you're rocking that hat, bro, I'm always like, I got to get me one of those. And I always neglect to tell you, like, where do I order one? But tell us a little bit more about the community champ and all that stuff. I know, right? Yeah. So tell me more about the community champ stuff that you got going on.
So, I mean, the community champ, I mean, it kind of arose from, again, like when we were working with those agents all around the country, I had the pleasure of working with so many different agents doing so many different things. And I was the guy that would like tap into their back end and see what they're doing and like be able to help them out and like build their systems out. Right. So I had the pleasure of working with so many different agents and seeing what they were doing. The agents, again, who were absolutely crushing it, they were so involved with their community. They were shooting videos with local business owners. They were going out shooting videos with their lenders, title agents, you name it. They were shooting videos with them. And what that really did was it tied themselves to the community, right? So like when somebody moves to an area, like why do people usually move there? Vacation destination, like the location's really good. Location. I think we've all heard that. School districts, business. Those are the big reasons people move to a certain area. What if you go out and shoot videos and tie yourself to all three of those? Now they're not really saying no to you. They know you as the local expert, not just the real estate agent. This person knows somebody in the school district. This person knows like the area very well. I always see them in different places. They want to work with somebody who knows the area like the back of their hand. And what better way than to show them, right? Like I can tell you about it, but I'd much rather show you. Watch all these videos and they'll be able to see exactly how you get tied into it. And I was working with, again, like Al States, like he knows it. I let him know that. He's like, oh, man. I didn't know that you roughly based this whole book off of me. And we did. He was kind of like the prototype because he was doing it so much. He does Rock and Rescue where he puts on a whole event and donates things to charity. He does videos with business owners. He has This is CLE Live, his podcast. There were so many different things that he was doing. So what we did is basically model what he was doing, put it in a formula for content and different strategies, and then we rolled it out into the book, which is now in our training library.
Yeah. And so I want to talk a little bit more about that because, a lot of people are like, where do I start becoming the community champ? And last week we had Todd Schroeth on, and he's a huge genius when it comes to like follow-ups and referrals and running like 80% of his business off of referrals. But you said something last week that really stuck with me, and it was the 10 locations, the 10 most popular locations, right? Yeah. So tell us about that, because I don't want to steal your thunder because it's so epic. Go ahead. Tell us more about what you told the folks last week here in Orlando.
So a lot of times too, this is straight from Billie Jean. I'm not going to quote this, but entertain, educate, execute, right? So you want to entertain your audience first, which basically gets them to stop the crawl. You educate them on the different, like whatever you're doing, like the value you're bringing, and then you tell them to click a link, right? Like it's a basic formula for video. But the entertainment part, a lot of times people think it's like stopping the scroll. You can bring props or you have to be funny to stop the scroll. That's not the case. All you got to do is have a cool background and people stop. And especially if it's within their community. Yeah. So what we do is just Google the top 10 most interesting places in your city, go shoot your videos there. Why? Because the audience is already telling you, I like these places. So if you go shoot your video there, they're going to stop, watch your video just because of how cool the place looks. And then they're going to listen to you. So that's a great way to really stop the scroll and get them to start watching your video. Because a lot of times too, I found places in my city when I did that, I'm like, holy shit, I would have never thought to shoot a video here. But since I looked it up, they were great locations.
So I got to harp on that too, because that is something huge, because wherever you are, and I know a lot of people watch this all across the country, even across the globe, wherever you are, Nick, he emphasized all you got to do is Google the top 10 places for your area, right?
Yeah.
So if you Google those and then you see where they are, set yourself a schedule, right, to go out to those, right? And I know that you, Nick, the other day you posted about like media day, right? So like you do this thing where basically you go out to all these locations and film at once, right? So I would Google all of these, and then Nick, I'll let you tell them a little bit more about like how you go about filming all your stuff. So tell us more about that.
So that's what we do. We make it like we would do like one day a month. And at this point, we have like an overload of content in our vault still, right? Because we just fill up our Google Drive. So when we don't go live or we're not doing different things, I can just pull something out of the drive from like a year ago at this point that I still haven't used. But what we would do is, again, we look at the top 10 most interesting places. We knew some places too that weren't on the list, because of course you know your area.
Yeah.
But what we would do is we go there, we'd shoot like 5 to 6 videos while we were there. As we're walking around, you have to go with a partner. It makes it a lot easier. You can't take a tripod, which I've done before, but it's a lot harder if you don't have a partner.
Oh yeah.
But all you do is you shoot, what's it called? So what you do is you shoot your videos, and then in between those videos, that's when you just start taking pictures, right? That's when you start taking pictures like in between, because now you're going to have pictures to start taking of you with those areas. So you can literally take like 50 pieces of content in one day, put it in a vault, and just use it whenever you don't have time to go live or you don't have anything else to post. Just go in your vault, pull it out, and you're good to go.
So with that vault mentality, man, I people ask all the time how you, myself, Grant Wise, and a lot of others do it, right? They're like, how are you constantly putting out all this content? That is the secret. That's what we do. We just take tons of stuff in between, and we are constantly putting out more and more stuff. But it's really because what we do is we batch it all together. We do it all at once. Then we only post 1 or 2. We post a video or a photo. And then you've got like 10 to 20 extra pieces of content for like later dates. And honestly, nobody knows the difference, right? So nobody knows.
Unless it's Cleveland, you have to be careful. If I'm on the beach and then like it's the middle of winter, you might have to be a little bit careful with that, right?
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that here in Florida.
You know the difference. Yeah. And it's funny, the biggest way we got that idea of like filling up the vault and just there's never too much content. I was actually just watching one of our videos the other day, right? This video, it was amazing. So my partner put it together, and it was like an intro from one of the videos, like meet me, basically, like meet the person who's putting on your web class. And the video, it was so well put, because it was like one video was from like 5 years ago. One video was like from 3 years ago. Part of it was from yesterday. And like all of these were just scrunched together, but that's the value of filling up the vault, right? I originally saw the value of this when I was working with Jay. He had a whole vault filled of so much content. And I'm like, man, we could pull stuff from 10 years ago that's still relevant today. So that's what we started to do. We started to put all of our content in one place. We're able to pull it. We're able to reuse it in so many different ways.
I tell you, people don't tend to maximize their time, right? And they tend to forget that it's a lot easier than what it is. They overcomplicate it in their head, and they don't realize that these are the little things that we do. So like when we go to Vegas, when we go to Cleveland, when we have you here in Orlando, we're going to go do Chicago next. When we go to these places, we do it as a group. I actually did a test run with Derek DeLear, and he's going to be on the show in a few weeks, but he's one of our agents, kids sharp as a tack. And this kid, what we did was we went and took the team out, and we did a team out, and we do one every month. And we went to the History Center here in Orange County in Orlando. And what we did was there's this giant clock, and it's preserved. It's like the original clock from the original courthouse, right? And it's this giant clock. It's literally it's as tall as you. You're pretty tall. I'm not that tall, but but what I did was I in my head I pictured how I wanted it to be. And so instead of being like, Derek, come take a picture, what I did was I literally said, Derek, do me a favor, go stand over there and go look down at your watch and stand like professionally. And he just like hit it like GQ, right? And and I took a picture. And then the cool part was, like you said, you can't do it. I mean, you can do it alone with a tripod, but it's a lot more difficult. So all I did was I just showed him the one picture I took of him, and I said, do me a favor and do the same thing for me. And people tend to think that like, oh, if somebody else is taking the same photo and posting the same stuff, like, we're copying each other. I was like, even though we run in the same circles, our friends aren't even going to notice the fact that we posted the same photo like a week apart from each other.
At the same time, like nobody would even notice that shit.
Nah. No. And so that's kind of like what I wanted to preach with the people. And you do such a fantastic job of teaching all that to everybody. Yeah. And so give us some more tips. Give us some more of the nitty gritty secrets that you may have. Like tell us some more things that these kids can start applying today. What is the number one thing that they can start applying today to get themselves out there?
Number one thing they can start applying today. Well, I would say one of the biggest and most important videos you can get is a video testimonial. Getting a video testimonial of somebody else, that third party that says how great you are, is so key. Because at the end of the day, who isn't going to say they're the best agent out there, right? Yeah. I'm an expert. I'm the best one in the area. Everybody's like, okay, yeah, of course you're going to say that. But guess what? When you get a video testimonial from somebody else, like, you hear all these great things that you're doing. So, and here's something. So if for anything else, if you guys want to go to our website, Content Cards, that's contentcardswithaz.com. If you want to go there for any other reason, watch our video at the top. You know why? Because we took all of our video testimonials, smashed them all into one, and it's like a highlight reel of all our video testimonials. That's so like, I'll tell you what, I got the chills when I watched it. I'm like, man, that's actually pretty damn good. So with that video testimonial, you're going to be able to use that in so many different ways, whether you want to run that as an ad, whether you want to use that in your drip campaigns, whether you want to nurture your database. That video of just like 10 different people saying how great you are kind of mashed together, it's so powerful. Because again, you're always going to say how great you are. But when you have a video showing multiple people saying how good you are, you can reuse that content till you're done in real estate. Yeah. All it is a testimony of saying how great you are and like what they liked about the process and why they liked working with you. You can use that video for the rest of your career in real estate. It's so valuable. And that would be the one thing that I say. Every time you buy or sell a house with someone, get a video testimonial. And the one pushback that most people get is people don't want to get on video because they don't know what to do or they don't know what to say. Have some questions built out. And we have questions for you guys in our
Smart.
library. But have some questions already pre-typed out, because when you show them what questions to answer, they'll be like, oh, this is easy. I can do it in my sleep. And they'll be more prone to do the video instead of just doing it without one.
Very smart. I love that, because you're right. A lot of people don't know where to start with video, right? So yeah. I like being behind the scenes. I like being the director, calling the shots, because I'm just like, because that's what I do. I'll ask questions, but it's funny because now that I think about it, like if I were to start with a testimonial video, I wouldn't know where to start. But that makes sense that you would just want to ask questions and have like a little lineup of scripts in advance. Yeah. I'm guilty of actually not doing that this year. That will change.
There you go.
But I haven't started that yet. Sean Romano, my business partner, is actually really good at doing that. He actually has like this whole setup, and he puts like it's nothing I could ever produce, but to be quite honest, he does such a good job editing and producing it. But yeah, so testimonials is the one thing that they could do right now. Give us something that they can do if they don't have any clients. So say they're a fresh agent, because we don't say new agents, they're fresh, they're boutique agents, right? They specialize in one deal at a time. So tell me what a boutique agent could do if they don't have somebody to get a testimonial from.
All right. So here's what I would do. If I was a boutique agent, I don't have a video testimonial to get it from. But at the same time, too, I'm sure everybody has an ideal neighborhood that they want to get into, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody has that one place like, man, if I could just break into here, it would make everything so much easier. Well, here's what I would do. Go to that neighborhood and do your community champion there, right? Go to that exact neighborhood. Talk about the market stacks. Talk about just different things you do as a realtor, but shoot with all these videos and pictures of you with that whole neighborhood behind you. Why? Because if I'm scrolling through my timeline and I see a picture of my neighborhood, heck, of even my house in the video, I'm watching that. If I see a video of a house on my street, I'm watching that, right? It's a great way to really start capturing exactly who you want to target. And then if you want to even take it a step further, you could get the data for that neighborhood and start doing email campaigns and sending them videos of you in their neighborhood. You send it to a lot of people who aren't there too, but some of the people will be right? So if I was like start off brand new, it's very easy to go to a neighborhood, just pull some market stats, pull market stats, read the market stats. But here's the one thing I would definitely recommend. Tell me what the stats mean, right? Because if I'm sitting here and I'm talking about absorption rate, I'm talking about the inventory, most people have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Correct.
What you have to do as an expert agent is elaborate. What does that mean for a buyer? What does that mean for a seller? When you can be someone who can speak to, you got to imagine you're speaking to like a fifth grader, right? Yeah. Explain the market to them. And if you can explain in a way that I can understand, I'm going to want to work with you. So I'm like, man, I get them, like I can understand what they say.
So that is something that you just taught us not too long ago, and it is epic. So for boutique agents, you guys can become the community champ without having sold one single home in that community. It's very simple.
Right.
It's called farming. It's old school, but the tactics are new and revolutionary. The way that Nick is telling you, the video content,
Right.
doing it in that neighborhood. Gil Ramos actually had told me a long time ago for something similar, and it was basically for my follow-up cards, right? So for my follow-up letters that I send out to a neighborhood where I do sell a home, he's like, I printed up a letter, and he's just like, where's the picture? And I was like, what do you mean where's the picture? Yeah. And he's like, where's the picture of the home that you sold and the picture of the front of the community? And I'm like, genius, because you're right, it relates to them. You got to be relatable, giving them facts like, the absorption rate, like, gosh, those words are, I would never use those words. It's just because it's like, it's information that the common consumer doesn't understand. And that's for any business, not just real estate. If you're trying to be the community champ for anything, you got to be able to understand it from a fifth grade point of view from the other side. Obviously, you can use normal terms and just think of it in terms of they are a fifth grader that doesn't understand your product, right?
Right. Well, and I think another big part of that too, if I could chime in really quick.
Yeah, for sure.
There's so many ads. There's so many things that are coming at you, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's coming in the mail. What makes you different? What's going to make me watch your ad? What's going to make me watch your piece of mail that you bring in? Mm-hmm. It's showing a picture of the community. It's showing that you're actually somebody who has a reason to be reaching out to me, right? We call them Mick marketing campaigns, where I think in real estate, we've all seen that blue house, right?
Yeah.
That one blue house that we should ban that. I want to start a petition to ban that freaking blue house that's all over these different ads.
That's crazy.
But anyways, so what's going to make you different? It's going to be actually going in that neighborhood. It's going to be actually showing that you're an agent in this area and I care about the neighborhood, right? So I think that's one thing that can really set you apart, and it doesn't take any money. It doesn't cost any money. Look, Facebook, unless you're running ads, it's free. You know how many thousands of dollars people would have to spend to get on a billboard or run a TV ad?
Oh, yeah.
Just to build their brand. A lot of times they're not even trying to get deals. They're just trying to become recognized, right?
Yeah.
Now you can do it on Facebook for free, and you're not taking advantage of it.
I tell you, man, it's so important. I love free. Everyone knows that. I even started a deal of the week segment last week because I pride myself in not paying full price for anything. No, but you're right. I mean, Facebook is free. Why not leverage it the right way? But you got to hit people the right way, like you're saying. Like you got to make it relatable. You got to make it. You can't be the just the stereotypical template ad of that one house. You can't do that anymore. You got to stand out. You got to differentiate, and you got to separate yourself. But do it in a fun way. I do think marketing and sales is changing, and I know you feel it too. And it's becoming more relatable. And I think our relationships are going to be the core of everything, right? Yeah. And so being the community champ is huge. Now let's get back to a little bit about content cards, because I think that's a vital tool that people need in general. So tell us, apart from like just filling out that piece of paper or that document to get started, where can they actually go to find that, right? So what's the website for that?
So to go there, it's contentcards.com. That's contentcards with a Z.com. Mm-hmm. And then we make it so easy for you guys to sign up. There's one link. There's only one thing on the page. There's one link for you guys to sign up on. That's where you got to go. So all you got to do, we make it just like the digital business cards. What we want to do is make it so easy for people to work with you that it makes it a no-brainer. Because nowadays, usability and the user experience is everything. Why do all these apps like Netflix, Amazon, Uber, why do they all exist? Because they're so freaking easy to use that they put everyone else out of business.
Yep.
Because nowadays, everyone's preconditioned to be, if you're not the easiest, I'm going to leave. That back arrow is everybody's favorite button. So if you're not as easy to work with as these other places, I'm going to find another agent who is. So that's what we want to do for you guys. We put it all in one singular place. It's very mobile friendly. And all you got to do is remember your name. So that's my favorite part is no matter how drunk I am, if I'm out, all I got to do is remember my name and I can send you to my website. So
I'm sure you get out a lot, right? I heard that you.
This is not the podcast for that one. We'll save those for another time.
We're going to save those for the trip.
Right. We'll save those. Yeah. When you're in the inner circle, we'll bring those up.
Oh, Lord.
All you got to do is remember my name, right? You want to work with me? Go to nickkrem.com.
Correct. Yeah. You want to eliminate the speed bumps. You want to eliminate the hurdles for them to get there. These whole like clickbait things are going out of style. People do not like the hurdles for things. You're right. Eliminating the hurdles. Go to contentcards with a Z.com. For those of you listening on audio and not seeing the ticker scrolling at the bottom. Nick, how cheap and affordable is this? Because I know you made it super cheap and affordable for everybody.
Affordable, not that keyword. No, but yeah. So we wanted to make it for something that everyone can afford, that it makes sense. So it's just a $30 setup and $20 a month. that covers any updates you want to do. So anytime you want to do an update, you send it to us and we take care of it for you. You get your
Super
own
affordable.
you get your own personalized website that doubles down as your digital business card. Guess what? You also get our training library, which has over 25 different video scripts.
That's true.
Pre-written for you to start. You get all of our personal branding classes put in there. You get our community chant book in the training library, and we even take it a step further in our private Facebook group. I go live once a week, and I pretty much just go over different tips and strategies that we're doing. So we pair everything up. So you get a personalized website. That's your digital business card. You get our training library with the video scripts and our weekly coaching for $20 a month.
That's epic. And that's super affordable. I mean, even as boutique new agents, you guys can do that too. So, all right. So let's go into the growth segment. I'm just going to ask you two questions. So what is one cool event that you either attended last year or one that you're looking forward to attending this year that maybe a boutique agent or maybe an experienced agent or maybe just an entrepreneur in general should be looking to attend?
Man. So the one that I will always sing the praises of this one is the Key West Mastermind, which is getting moved to the Virgin Islands. The reason I say that is the reason I started my own business. And I have so much, like 2 years ago, when I left there, I thought, like, when you go to these events, I thought I was thinking big, right? I got into that room and I realized how small I was thinking. And when I got back, I quit my job, right? Like on the spot. Like I didn't even get home yet. I was just getting settled in. And that's another funny story. We won't get into that one too much. Let's just say there's a lot of chili dogs involved. And ask Al about that. If you
we're gonna do an uncensored podcast with all of us one day.
We'll have an uncensored podcast, and that'll be a great time. At the end of the day, when I got back, I'm like, I'm done. Like, I love the company I was at, but I thought I was thinking bigger. I'm like, I can do so much more, right? And that event, it opened my mind, and just the way everyone was thinking, the way they were acting. The speech that actually Gil Ramos gave was one of the big deciding factors that got me to that next step. And I was actually talking about that with him in Orlando, but it was it was the wine night, and he's like, "Let's shoot a video." I'm like, "Not right now.
Not right now."
There's a time and place. Yeah, but like I will definitely shoot a testimonial for that 100%. But that event alone, every time I go there, it's changed my life in a lot of ways. But that first time I went, it blew my mind. So that's the NAEA Mastermind. And this year it'll be in the Virgin Islands.
For those of you that don't know what NAEA, that is actually specifically for realtors. It is the National Association of Expert Advisors, and it is a training program that it's the top elite 1% of agents and brokers nationwide. And it is a phenomenal program. If you guys are interested, reach out to us on social media. I've got our handles right below. Make sure that you guys reach out to us, follow us, because we put out content for free. Nick and I are very firm believers in shared best practices. It's what got us to this point right here where we're at. So we're paying it backwards or forwards, however you want to look at it. But we love teaching and preaching and helping you guys out because we want to boost the next person up to be successful. So NAEA runs this Key West Mastermind that is getting moved to the Virgin Islands this year. And it is incredible. It's like 5 days, 5 or 6 days. We'll find out soon how many days it is.
It's 2 days.
But we always fly out early and then fly out late.
We have a good time. You'll have a good time.
Yeah. So it's epic because it really changes your mindset, your thinking, and it gives you some extra tools that you might not have ever seen anywhere else. So I agree with you 100%. That is one of the best masterminds you could ever attend. So the rapid fire segment, real quick, we're going to get to know you real personally. Right. So if you could meet any historical figure, who would you meet?
Julius Caesar.
Okay, good. I like that one. I was not expecting that whatsoever. We're going to change gears and we're going to say, which Disney princess would you marry?
Would I marry? Jeez. Wow.
While he thinks about that, these questions come from a book from a friend of mine that he wrote. Okay. So my friend Justin wrote this book. It's called Book Questions Humanity. There are a lot of conversation starters, and I picked some of the easier ones. But this question actually comes from that book.
Cinderella.
That's a good choice. Yeah. All right. So Skittles or M&Ms?
Oh, M&Ms. I had a terrible experience with Skittles. I had a whole family size when I was a kid. never going back. M&Ms.
Oh, Lord. And who would win in a fight, the Green Power Ranger or Batman?
Batman.
Batman, you think so? All right. All right. And the last one. Where you live, what is your favorite local eatery?
Ohio City Burrito. I actually did a segment on them before. They're my favorite place.
Name it one more time. The name again.
Ohio City Burrito.
City
get
Burrito.
All their food local. They cook it up for 12 hours the night before. Woo, so good.
That is sick. Well, folks, this was an amazing another episode. Make sure to check us out. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're also on every single podcast site. So we're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, you name it. Just Google the Takeover Podcast. Google Nick Krem. Make sure you guys give him a follow. He's an amazing human being in general, not just a motivational person and a speaker, but he's a great individual overall. And once again, this episode is sponsored by Content Cards, this episode. And then we've also got Asteroom. So make sure you guys give them a quick view, check out their products, make sure that you guys are supporting them. Nick, it was fantastic having you on this episode, man. And obviously I'm going to be seeing you next week anyways and the week after. So, all right, folks. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, we'll see you on another episode, guys. Take care. Bye.